They claim that Jesus is an illegitimate child, that his mother basically is a harlot who had relations with a Roman soldier.
How would they respond after they bombed the church, one of the oldest churches in the world, in Gaza? Recently, you had actually not one, not two, but three full debates with Ridvan, one of which was recently about a month ago on the topic of Israel and Palestine, who is to blame, and how was the whole debate experience? Did it go as you expected it to?
The debate experience was as I expected. I didn't expect this guy to come out as some kind of knowledgeable scholar of anything, let alone Judaism. But, what was surprising is he didn't even try to engage with the topic of the debate.
It's funny, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it almost seems like Radvan and these people who hate Islam, their understanding of Islam, their biggest fear of Islam really just is this understanding of Judaism. Basically, what they think taqiyya is, which is you just lie about it, or you don't talk about it, you suppress it. We know we're crazy, but we hide it. And then all these things about raping and murdering and we're superior and they kill the infidels and all this stuff. If they really hate these things in principle, why don't they go after Judaism in the same exact way?
Yeah, it's just really unexplainable. And then you have Christians too, like these Zionist Christians, who will come out and defend the Talmud. Do you know what the Talmud says about Jesus? Do you know what the Talmud says about the mother of Jesus? Peace be upon them. It's shocking, like the amount of hatred that you find within the Talmud for Isa alayhi salam. They depict him as being in the hellfire or being in Jahannam, basically boiling in a vat of feces. This is what they claim about Jesus. They claim that Jesus is an illegitimate child, that his mother basically is a harlot who had relations with a Roman soldier. So this is their understanding. It's in the Talmud, and more than that, actually, but those are some of the more shocking things. When I posted about this, like these details of the Talmud and Jesus in the Talmud, I got attacked by these Zionists and some of these Christians saying that, oh, you're misrepresenting Judaism. And, oh, their first strategy is denialism. Like, oh, this is not in the Talmud. And, there's academic works written about this by Jews, actually. The most well known is by Peter Schaeffer, Jesus in the Talmud. And it's published by Princeton University. It's a very interesting book, but he goes into detail about basically everywhere that Jesus is mentioned in the Talmud. And it's fascinating because you see this kind of hatred for Christianity that's coming from these rabbis. And then you have like Christians today, these Judeo-Christians, maybe we can call them, that are defending the Talmud and are siding with Israel against Muslims who love Jesus, Muslims who respect and love Jesus so much and his mother, and understand that his mother was a virgin and blessed Virgin Mary. So this is something that's so shocking about Christians. Like their hatred of Muslims is so much that they'll even throw their own, their own religion under the bus.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so sad. I don't know if it's just this, like specifically like the evangelists, because I believe they believe that Israel's creation and demise, or Israel's creation and the war and all that stuff, is just kind of playing into the end times, and that this stuff needs to happen for the rapture and for Jesus' second coming. But that kind of blind hatred takes you so far into pure stupidity. Imagine they just watched a video of, for example, that Christian woman who's in Israel being spat on by children, Israeli children. Like they teach their children this. Imagine how bad the adults are. And that's just one small thing, let alone bomb. Like, how would they respond after they bombed the church, one of the oldest churches in the world, in Gaza very recently? It doesn't make any sense. I'm going to play another clip now. I want everyone just to sit and just witness this with me.
ABC News. White House clarifies Biden's claim he saw photos of. Not only did he see pictures of, he actually claimed to see Hamas.
Okay, he said, you just said Joe Biden talked about or spread the same story about. Can you show us where he said that?
President Joe Biden painted a vivid picture of the horrors of the Israeli-Hamas war in remarks to Jewish community leaders Wednesday, but the White House later had to clarify his claim. I never really thought that I would see and have confirmed pictures of.
So this is his great response, his great rebuttal, was to completely throw a red herring as to kind of divert the discussion. I'm assuming your point was something along the lines of everything about that day, that horrible day, atrocious day that you say Hamas committed XYZ is fairly speculative. We know people died, but we also know that the IDF killed a certain amount of people. The whole thing about the which was the initial claim, whatever, there isn't real evidence for that. I'm assuming you're making some kind of point about the propaganda. His decision, his amazing rebuttal ended up just being, well, it says children, not babies. Therefore, Daniel made a factually incorrect statement. Therefore, what was your point? How clearly did it go over his head?
I mean, what's so stupid about this? The way that the debate actually played out, I didn't realize that this is going to be a debate of like, let's nitpick what Daniel said or what he tweeted at this date, and let's see if it's exactly factually correct. I stand by everything I tweet. If it's factually incorrect, I'll retract it. So what happened was that he was bringing these claims and he's sharing his screen. I didn't know that the way the opening dialogue was going to go. I had to adapt. During the debate, like I'm looking up these quotes and fact checking, even though it's something I may have tweeted or said a month ago or 2 months ago. I think I still managed to show like, okay, Biden did say this, and here is a mainstream news report talking about him repeating this claim of. So I'm pulling these things just in the moment. But the fact is, Biden did say that he claimed to see. That is correct. That is 100% correct. It just happened that the article that I pulled up in the 2 seconds that I was trying to pull this up in the moment in the live debate said children instead of babies. But elsewhere, other sources like The Intercept, if you scroll down, like it quotes Biden as saying that he says that Biden said, "I saw some of the photographs when I was there, tying a mother and her daughter together on a rope and then pouring kerosene on them and then burning them, beheading infants, doing things that are just inhuman, totally, completely inhuman." There it is, beheading infants. Now, probably Ridvan will say that, oh, that says infants. It doesn't say babies. So you're a liar. But that is what Biden said. And it's a complete lie. There are no pictures of these things. It was all complete fabrication.